Pam. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. Right after State of Play hit YouTube or any other platform for that matter.
Yeah.
Very soon after the last episode.
I think it was literally the next day of the previous recording. Literally the next day, it was just like we have the State of Play, and I said to you, this week is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. Very uncharacteristic of us. To make another episode so short, so soon after the last one.
Yeah.
So I would say we should just go straight to the news because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of video games. We've seen a lot of video games in State of Play, interesting video games. So let's begin. Yeah, let's do it.
So first up, we are going to go by order. That's okay. By order which the games were shown in the event. Let's start off with Wolverine. What have we seen in Wolverine?
Wolverine is a very anticipating title, obviously. It was one of those titles that you knew at the beginning that they already mentioned that it will be on State of Play anyway. My impressions, I like it. It's a very good. It looks a very good game. Good graphics as it obvious. From Insomniac Games, is really good. They did something amazing with the hair tech. I don't know if you saw that. The hair quality is insane. I don't know how they did it.
Technology, man.
Yeah, technology, definitely. The combat looks good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a different superhero than, Spider-Man. And that's why it has a different skill set. But I haven't seen it feels that I haven't seen any major changes from the previous game. Obviously you have a different skill set, but I haven't seen anything major. Let's say. Obviously there was a lot of blood, but I think the fact that I didn't see any dismemberment, it was a little bit. How can I say? I didn't feel very.
We need the gore.
Yeah,
God damn it. We need the gore.
Do you know why it feels off? Because basically, if you think about it, the game has a lot of blood. A lot of blood. You literally you kill someone.
You can literally see him drenched, yes.
Yeah, you're drenched in blood, what I mean? And I was like, where's the dismemberment, You can see the claws, going in the flesh,
Yeah.
And I was like, where is the dismemberment, dude? Where is it?
I mean, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, I personally don't mind that there's I think there probably is some dismemberment in the game, maybe not in the trailer that we saw,
maybe there is an option.
Yeah, but there might be, but I'm not totally sad that I didn't get to see a dismemberment. I don't really care. I understand that it would be nice, it's a shock factor from, dismemberments, but it's okay in my eyes. We saw a lot of companions. We saw Jean Grey, Mystique, Sabretooth is making an appearance.
Yep.
Which I think is great. They're not just bringing, Wolverine back. They're
just trying to bring the whole crew, yeah.
Yeah, the whole crew is in the game. They said that Logan is traveling the world, and we saw a few segments, a few clips that you can see enemies or terrain from different cultures, maybe Asia or Latin America.
Yeah,
it's not just in one place, so I think that's good. The game, to my eyes, looks fantastic. The graphics are, amazing. There were some pretty weird reflections I spotted in the trailer. I think those are just, can be ironed out until the release day. I think the UI was great. The UI during gameplay was pretty minimalistic, which I personally love. The
I think the combat
don't like-
animations was good as well.
Yeah,
Like-
the combat animations were great. Yeah, yeah. The UI is to my liking. I don't like when the UI is, bloated,
Yeah, obviously.
and that's foreshadowing. Okay. Now for the character, I think Logan was portrayed beautifully.
Yeah.
Like really, he looks and sounds like just what we could expect from Logan to look and sound like.
Yeah.
From the movies and the comics. I think he was great, although we just saw like 5 minutes of trailer, but from what we saw, that's my my takeaway from that.
I totally agree with you. As I've written on my notes when I was watching it, like Logan feeling is there, which is really positive. Yeah, you can feel the whole vibe of Wolverine is there.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And he is reckless too. We saw when he was on like a truck, it was loaded with pipes, and he just snaps the strap from the pipes, and
Yeah.
the pipes take them with him.
Yeah.
Take him with them.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Story so far is a typical Marvel like. Nothing crazy so far. Like obviously we didn't see anything, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it will be like a Marvel level.
Hope for great things, but we
Yeah.
don't know yet. I like the way they portrayed the healing factor, which is, it was funny but genius at the same time. You could literally see chunks of flesh
Yeah.
missing from his back,
And they regenerate.
and he would regenerate them like as a few seconds would go by. He would regenerate the flesh itself.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. What I didn't like is that the suit regenerated as well.
Yeah, that was a little bit immersion breaking.
What's up with that? Like, can you not? What the hell?
Yeah, just leave it like that, guys. Just leave it like
Yeah.
that.
If there's a hole, there's a hole. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have a magic suit or something, He just, he's regenerating his body, not the suit, his armor, whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid, but
I think
it is what it is.
I think even the character models looks kind of weird. Not like Logan's and Wolverine's. The other ones, they feel a little bit off. I don't know.
I didn't pay close attention to every character model. I think Jean was great, but
yeah,
to the generic enemies, the NPCs, I didn't really pay close attention to them. So that's that for Wolverine.
When is releasing? I think it's September, right?
It is September 15th.
15th. Okay. Oh my god.
Yes, on the PS5.
September.
Just
is
like
packed.
every other game.
Yeah, the majority of the games on the state of play is like probably
the majority is like from the late September to early October.
Yeah, it's either September, October, or like
it's like
February.
in the span of 20-25 days.
Yeah, it's either like September, October, or February 2027.
Every studio who their games was in the state of play was like, what can we do to escape November?
Yeah.
What can we do?
Let's completely black November, right?
We do not need to compete with the big dog,
Dude, I saw a calendar recently on X, and this calendar has November 19th. The only game release is GTA 6. And I was like, no way.
What can we do to escape the big dog? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from Wolverine and head on to Marvel's Tokon, Fighting Souls.
Yeah, which was a fighting game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you want to say anything, but I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of fighting games.
I don't want to say too much. I just want to say that the animations look great. The fighting looks like it has a lot of depth to it. But I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination to fighting games.
Yeah.
It's a fighting game after all, and
what can you say?
It looks good. I'm just gonna say that it looks good. And it looks like every Marvel character is gonna be in this game.
Yeah.
They showcased, I don't know, like 10
That's a purpose,
characters,
isn't it? Anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's a Marvel fighting game, but you know, every character is in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be.
I see.
So to some more exciting news, do you want to say anything else about that?
No, I don't have anything to say about them. The next one is quite big.
Yeah,
More
it's
nostalgic.
quite a bit,
But yeah.
yeah, more nostalgic, of course, for us. But Rayman Legends retold by our favorite
Ubisoft.
company.
Yeah.
In this show, Ubisoft Entertainment is dropping in October 1st. What do you think about Rayman?
What can I say, man? Good old Rayman. Legendary
Rayman, yeah.
platforming game, you know what I mean? Just, it feels like we are kids again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's the
And-
feeling I got. Yeah.
And so far, it's just like, looks like a good remake so far. That's a good thing.
I am very, very much excited for this game. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It might be a remake, but the game looks fantastic. We need a good platformer. It might not be like brand new. It might not be like, you know, a new game, like straight up. But I think
We don't
we need.
as we said already, we don't, especially on the last episode, we don't expect Ubisoft to do massive stuff. As we said, they will continue farming remakes and remasters in order to get some revenue. Because on the latest reports, it's not
As we said.
encouraging, you know what I mean? So,
As we reported last week,
yeah.
Ubisoft is not doing well. You could say like it's doing well, but it doesn't do as well as it used to be. It used to do, but it's not doing well. And I've written this down, and I hate to say I told you so. But it seems like Ubisoft is remaking old games,
I think,
you know, to make a bit of revenue.
I'll tell you something, right? Because we spoke about Ubisoft a lot, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like that you have to be, you know, someone, a medium or whatever, you know, that you actually need to see the future, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're around the industry for the last like 10 years, there is little to no surprise of what happened to Ubisoft, and it's 100% deserved, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, dude. Just, you know, we are not prophets, we're nothing. It's just like gamers that we can actually like see when something like can fail.
We're just men. But
yeah, exactly, dude.
you can just see sometimes. Maybe you couldn't see after, you know, Origins, but Odyssey,
And
you're like...
it's so many
uh-oh.
other games, dude. Like Far Cry, and it's, I don't know, dude.
I mean, yeah, but Assassin's Creed is the main big franchise. of Ubisoft.
Anyway, that's not the point of the,
Yeah,
of
we
the
need to
video,
move on.
okay? Let's go, come on.
Sorry.
Let's not
I'm-
let Ubisoft consume us again, please.
Yes. Okay, speaking of good games like Assassin's Creed, I would like to speak about a greater game than Assassin's Creed right now. Bancho the Chef, god damn it. Bancho the Chef.
I think Mint Rocket is cooking, dude. I wouldn't expect like to have a second
They are
game.
literally cooking, you could say.
Yeah, they're literally cooking, yeah. So it's basically a Dave the Diver prequel. Dave the Diver, as everyone knows already, if you're not living under the rock, obviously, but
Yep.
it's a crazy good indie game to spend your time relaxing in front of your screen and have a chill time. I liked it so far, you know, it was really funny and goofy, and it seems like it's, you know, it's going to be like a cooking game. I don't know what else what other mini games will have, because David Diver had like so many mini games. You could dive, but fish, whatever, you know, and then you go up and then you're actually getting new recipes, become a bartender, serving like a waiter or whatever, you know. He had a lot of, you know.
Yeah, it seems like this is going to be the case.
I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of mini games.
Yeah, there is a lot of dialogue which I've caught in the trailer. Seems like this is going to be the case. I think it looks like, a casual game, like a time killer. You play something a bit for fun. Nothing really special.
Yep.
Other than its graphics look too good for what the game's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
The graphics, its graphics look too good for what the game is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how exactly to put it, but that's the takeaway I got from that. The characters look like they're not too, serious. Kind of like the game is not taking itself so seriously,
Yeah. What else? What can we say? We can't wait to play the Bancho, as always. We always like the indie games, so...
Yeah. Indie games are killing it, man.
Yeah, indie games are
killing
like,
it.
Out of this world, dude. It's unbelievable.
So, in another news from Unseen Studio, we have Kemuri.
Kemuri, I think... Yeah, probably we pronounce it right. I think it's Kemuri. Yeah, it's a Tokyo-based studio, basically, Unseen.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, the CEO was working before in The Evil Within 1 and 2. So yeah, it seems that she's good at this kind of games. But
hopefully, yeah.
Again, we have something paranormal, like it was Evil Within, but it's obviously a little bit more, I would say, teenagey. There was a lot of teenager vibes, Fortnite. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, it's a live service, 3-player co-op game, paranormal hunt monster slaying with parkour. What else I can say? I mean, it's not my thing,
to me,
and you can tell with the vibe that
Yeah, I get it. It's not for us.
Yeah, true.
It's not for us.
True.
I think it looks like the wet dream of any anime fan. It looks like a playable 3-way co-op anime series, if that makes sense. It looks good, but I'm not really interested, to be honest. The vibe is not really my thing. I can see the appeal, but I wasn't moved by the trailer that I saw, to be honest, right?
No, neither do I, to be honest.
The mechanics they mentioned seem interesting. It seems like that you kill a... what do they call it? Like yokai? That's what they call the monsters.
Yeah, I think yokai is a demon in Japanese or something like that.
Yeah. Like whenever you kill one of those, you can possess them and become stronger and gain some of their abilities. It seems interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's that. Next up, we have big news, especially for me.
Yeah.
And especially for you, to be honest.
I liked Tomb Raider, yeah. I liked Tomb Raider. Definitely, dude. Just this one basically was literally the first game that I played when I was younger, you know what I mean? I was like 3-4 years old, was my father playing Tomb Raider 2. And it was the first time that I hold, a controller. What can I say, dude? It looks like we're going back to its original roots, Probably. There is a lot of platforming, puzzles. Don't get me wrong, the other games, they have it as well. But I think, in my opinion, is the other games, the previous games, they didn't let you experiment a little bit, find your way on puzzles. There was so much tutorial, so many hints how you can solve it quickly.
Okay.
And there was the platforming on the previous game and the previous games, it was really stupid because it was way too cinematic. Everything that you were stepping on, it was breaking. The ground, it was literally sagging and breaking in seconds. And I was like, why every floor, dude, has to be like that, It just destroys the purpose of...
We need tension. You need tension.
Yeah, you have to be in tension. Yeah, but it didn't go immediately, It was always taking 3 to 4 seconds to break.
Yeah.
That's nothing. You have enough time to do anything. So, one thing though, that I'm not quite sure though. I'm not quite sure, man. I'm not quite sure.
Can't see it coming.
I thought, hopefully someone on the chat gonna actually, comment and say to us,
leave a comment if you know
leave a
about
comment
this,
if you know,
okay?
Please.
It's a big debate.
Because that was a very weird moment.
Yep.
I thought that I heard Lara Croft having an American accent. And that's such an immersion breaking, considering that Miss Croft, she's British.
British.
It's British.
British. I mean, I'm not really sure. I hope not, but I'm not sure. I kind of my instinct is that I want to defend it. I want to say like, no, yeah, she's not, but I'm not sure also. So I cannot say. We just have to wait and see in the game.
Kind of have to actually, yeah.
Let me say about Tomb Raider. I am a very happy man today. A very happy man today, ladies and gentlemen. Hot women and dinosaurs are back in gaming.
Exactly, dude.
Are back in gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, these are good news. All jokes aside, the world looks beautiful. It must be an action-adventure, game.
Yeah.
And man, my bread and butter. Puzzles? You had me at puzzles, man.
Yeah,
There's no need for anything else apart from hot women and dinosaurs. I love puzzles, man.
I know you love puzzles. And I can't wait. I can't wait, honestly. We haven't planned that, but I can't wait until you will play Crimson Desert. Because after you play Crimson Desert, because after you play Crimson Desert, I want to have a nice conversation about Crimson Desert.
Yeah. Probably on camera if everybody is interested.
Yeah.
We every time we have like a personal talk and not on camera, it's probably like a 6-hour conversation.
Bro, and it's a game that fits 6 hours actually conversation.
I mean, if it's a 1,000-hour gameplay game,
plus.
Yeah, I mean 6 hours is too little. Exactly. One could argue, yeah.
There's a lot of content anyway.
Yeah.
As you mentioned dinosaurs though.
Yeah. Dinosaurs?
The next game is a dinosaur game again, right?
Yeah.
The game is The Lost Wilds. I think coming from the Great Ape Games and being published from who? Again? Annapurna, right? Annapurna. Finally, a survival horror with dinosaurs, dude. Finally. The last good one, it was probably Dino Crisis back in 2000s. That might be
Dark survival, man.
That's not survival horror, though.
It's not horror, but it's survival.
Yeah, it's survival, dude. If you're a survival, you could say about The Isle. That is a survival game as well.
Yeah, you get a point. Okay.
So that was the last, probably that was the last proper time that we had like survival horror game. And I kind of have a little bit mixed feelings about I don't know if there is any combat, They didn't make it clear because so far what it shows is it has like limited combat, And then basically you need to use your tools to hit the dinosaurs or like walk past them. But I don't know if the whole game is going to be like that or like there is another like tools down the line that you'll actually like use them as weapons against them. But considering how young is the protagonist, I might think that it looks young. I'm not quite sure, right? But this doesn't look like a young girl, but probably is a teenager girl. I might be wrong.
Maybe in the 20s, maybe.
Probably, yeah. And yeah, I don't think that it will have like massive combat. There's nothing wrong with that, but my mixed feelings, it was like it wasn't clear on the trailer if there is combat or not.
I mean, yeah. It doesn't have to have like combat if the way you fight off the dinosaurs is like smart and well built.
Or just like walk around them. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. I'm just like
I mean, you cannot make a game just walking around them. He has to
do something. That's what I'm saying. Because they didn't show a lot of tools. That's what got me confused. Nice atmosphere though.
Yeah, it was.
The atmosphere was really nice, dude.
Seemed to me like I don't know if it was just me, but in the trailer it was I saw some stutters. Maybe it was just me, but I saw some stutters. Some things didn't look right, so
yeah,
I think they need to do a bit of work. It releases next year anyway, so
yeah.
Yeah, but it was really interesting, and we get a dinosaur horror game, which is great. They put a spin on horror. They don't just follow suit with every other horror game that we've seen in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So, next topic is a big one. Next topic is huge.
It's one of the most anticipated games. Mine anticipated games, right?
Yeah, it was very short. It was like 2 seconds. it wasn't this was like 30-second trailer. Something like
but
that.
did they say later in summer we'll get a better trailer?
Yes.
Either Summer Game Fest or later in summer. I'm not quite sure when though.
They said late summer 2026.
So it's gonna be August probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. So to me the game looks really good. We didn't get to see a lot.
Did we mention the
saw
game? Because I'm not quite sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Phantom Blade Zero, guys.
Phantom Blade Zero.
Okay, yeah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. No worries, because we're just
Okay, Phantom Blade Zero. We saw not so much. It was literally 30 seconds of trailer. They said that they were going to release a full trailer in late summer.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to wait.
There's a lot of trailers already. I forgot to send you that. I thought that you already watched them. But there's a lot of gameplay trailers already for the game,
Okay.
There is, and the game, just to actually get you in a little bit to understand how is the game. The game is a huge action RPG, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy good combat, ultra fast. It kind of reminds me God of War and Black Myth Wukong.
Okay.
But I think, it's not even Souls-like. It's not hack and slash. I think something in between, but it's really fast. It's more leaning towards hack and slash as a combat game, but it's really good game. The graphics of this game is insane, dude. The atmosphere and the graphics and the art direction of this game is insane.
The art direction looks amazing, yeah.
Yeah. And it has the baby as well. Give him some Death Stranding vibes.
Yeah. I hope that this doesn't become a trend, What's with the babies?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It must be a reason.
Can't you keep the baby a bit more safe?
Yeah, they should.
I know it had it's weird to say in a sentence, but in Death Stranding the baby had a utility,
Yeah. Okay.
I understand that it sounds weird, but it's true. Okay. in this game, why do you carry a baby? If it's to protect it, I get it, but there are way more efficient ways to protect the baby.
I don't know. I'm thinking all I'm thinking is just he's carrying it because probably it's either his or there is some very important person and he needs to actually keep it and keep it safe and stuff. But yeah, I think it's kind of how you will be with a baby. From the gameplay trailers, though, if I'm not mistaken, from the gameplay trailers, I haven't seen the baby to carry the baby on the same time. I think it's more on the cinematics. I'm not quite sure, though. I need to go and check them out later.
Maybe he does the sensible thing and
not
puts the baby somewhere safe.
Yeah,
and not anywhere near the blades. And in harm's way.
Yeah,
maybe.
I can't wait to play it. I don't know what else. If you want to say anything else.
No, I cannot play it as well. It looks great, and I'm all about the art direction. Looks very unique in art direction, so I'm really excited to play that game.
Yeah, totally with you. Agree with you, dude.
Let's move on to Dune Awakening. I'll let you do the talking first.
I don't have anything to say. All I have to say is that basically the game releasing a new single-player co-op mode. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's already been out more than a year, I think. So everyone knows it so far, you know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
if I have anything else to say. To be
I
honest with
have.
you. You might
a
have
lot.
a lot because you might didn't hear about didn't hear about this
I
game.
have a lot
before.
to talk about from the trailer. I had no idea of this game. I mean, I've heard about it, but I wasn't too invested. I didn't really care. But they showed the single player mode or whatever in the trailer. Okay, while the game looks, great or whatever, the terrain, the open world, what you would expect from this planet that Dune is. The running and combat animations we saw in this trailer are horrendous. Okay?
True.
They are horrendous. I'm sorry, okay? If you love Dune, if you love this game specifically, I don't care. These animations are not it, okay?
Yeah, I didn't like it on the first time because I have some friends that they actually play the game and they try like to get me in, but I was like, no, I don't like the combat. Dude. It's self-putting. But
and for anybody wondering what I foreshadowed earlier in the beginning of this video,
what was it?
the UI of this game is bloated to shit.
It is though.
What the fuck?
And it's kind
Future me in editing, can you show the UI while the guy is flying the plane or whatever? What the fuck?
true, dude, true.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, there is a lot of problems. I heard a lot of stuff like from my friends that they're playing the game, and they said that there is a lot of problems, massive problems with bugs and stuff. The PvP and MMO aspect, it's not the problem of the game. The whole problem is about bugs, game breaking bugs that everyone exploit or whatever, and that's it. But yeah, they took a long time to fix stuff, and they lost all the player base. I don't know if it's a dead game, but it's kind of getting there, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's come on.
Speedrun.
Yeah.
So we got to see the remastered of the complete edition from Dynasty Warriors 3.
So we don't have to say a lot. Huge news for the Dynasty Warrior fans, because Dynasty Warrior 3 is a legendary installment of the series. I'm pretty sure that all the Dynasty Warrior fans, they will actually go and play it.
Yeah. I've said before that these are the games that we need to have remastered.
Yeah.
These are the games that you have to remaster if you have to remaster any game. One of the most iconic video games in early PlayStation history, bro.
Yeah, it is.
The new games can jump in and experience these games from the past. It looks good. It's remastered after all, but these are the games you want to remaster.
Yeah, all of them are really
20, 25-year-old games. These are the ones you need to remaster, not like 3 or 4-year-old games.
But as I said to you so many times, you see, they could do a remake, but they knew that Musou games, they have a good gameplay anyway, because it's basically you versus the world, and it's like a horde game that you're actually killing so many millions of characters that are in front of you, and basically the only thing that you need is actually to remaster the game, bring some new quality of lives, modernize it, and bring it on, take it out. It's not something like that you need to remake the game. That's what I'm saying. Like some games that they have good foundation, they don't need a remake. Just remaster them.
Yeah, of course, 100%. So I'm gonna let you do the talking on this next topic. You're the man to talk about this.
Oh my god, tell me that is the one I'm thinking of.
So, No Rest for the Wicked comes up next from Moon Studios. Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Finally, obviously you would give me the opportunity to speak about, because you haven't played it, and I have played like 170 hours so far in its early access, not even Act 1. And finally we got a release date announcement, not a fully release date. Obviously it's like the month that's coming out. We don't know the day yet. Excuse me.
It's probably gonna be early, as far away from November as possible.
Probably. But I don't think. I think I'll tell you something. Thomas, the CEO, is one of those people that doesn't care about that. Like if he could do that. Probably his marketing team, they would say to him, you know what, let's not do this, because they're completely different games. If they will go early November, it wouldn't be affected by GTA, obviously. But the marketing team can say, let's not let the marketing team of GTA 6 overshadow us, because at the end of the day, I mean, even October is a very dangerous month to go next to GTA, because I'm pretty sure that Sarah Zelling said that after September they will start like having more like attack, let's say, marketing, more aggressive at marketing plan. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love this game, dude. I told you so many times. I mean, I already got 170 hours on early access. This game is trying to innovate a genre that is stuck to the past. The ARPGs, Diablo-likes and PoE-likes. On gameplay aspect, these games, they're stuck in the past. We're literally playing the same games since Diablo 2, which was 1999 game.
Yeah.
The game has a distinct art style, and the art direction is goated. As it was obvious, we're talking about Moon Studios, the guys behind Ori, you know what I mean, and which are very also like beautiful games with amazing art style as well. So, yeah, No Rest for the Wicked. Is a very good game. I think you should actually check this out even now. I think they have some like pre-order like stuff, so if you pre-order the game you will get some bonus at the moment until 6th of July, I'm not quite sure. And it's one of those games that you definitely need to check this out, dude. The combat is insanely good, coming from someone who is not a big fan of Souls-like games. No Rest for the Wicked delivers a very well structured, combat, Souls-like combat, because you have like this ARPG system and this always like power hunger, and you can actually like make some combinations of your gear, and then you can skyrocket your damage. So even though you have some difficult enemies that they could literally one shot you, even the typical monster like, you know what I mean? If you are not like careful, they can one shot you, because the Souls like at the end of the day, you can nullify all this dude. It's just like you can literally one shot everything if you actually build your character. It's really easy.
Okay.
And obviously the cinematics are actually insane, and the story is really interesting so far. I think that's one of the things that you will actually appreciate. The story is really interesting.
It's definitely going to be one of the biggest games of the year. That's what I think.
And definitely, and as I said so many times, I'm a huge fan of Thomas Muller, the CEO and creative director of No Rest for the Wicked. The guy who always tried to innovate and move, the gaming forward. What can I say? No Rest for the Wicked and Fathom Blade are my most anticipated titles. Yeah. Most anticipated titles for 2026.
Understandable.
Probably with Dawn Walker as well. These three titles are the biggest ones, and I will not gonna say about GTA 6, because probably 2 days before the release they might say it's gonna get delayed till 2028. You know, I mean, not even 27. But I will not gonna mention it.
Imagine if that happens. All of these guys are gonna be like, man.
Yeah.
We released everything in October for you.
October feels like Christmas for me. That's all I can say.
Yes. So moving on to the next one. I don't want to screw up the name. Is it called Onimusha?
Onimusha, yeah.
Onimusha Way of the Sword by Capcom. My thoughts on this game. In my opinion, the game looks okay. That's That's what my eyes saw anyway. Anyone can disagree. I think it looks okay. I'm not sure about the gameplay. It feels like a hack and slash experience.
It's like kind of like a slow hack and slash, but with some Sekiro vibes in it because there is a lot of parry.
Yeah, yes, but what I'm trying to say is like it's not hard combat.
It doesn't show. I don't know, dude. I've seen some videos that someone like pressing triangle, and just like doing everything. But
I'm saying it doesn't look like it's. Don't know. We don't know, but it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know
the game
either.
But the game, it seems like it's leaning heavily into the character's depth more than anything. So I love narrative, and I love character depth. I love that. So I don't mind if the combat is not the most demanding from the player. So also the demo is out. We can check that out.
Yeah.
The demo is out. What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely with you on this one. Obviously, a legendary series finally returned from Capcom because everyone we've been asking about DMC, Onimusha, and stuff, but we haven't get any love to the Onimusha series. Actually, looks good so far. I said the same thing as I said to you earlier. Like the combat is a little bit feels a little bit weird. It might be a little bit like more, I think because it has the parry mechanic. It might be difficult, but I will not gonna actually, go full on about it.
If it's like if you have to get it like in frame perfect, it's gonna be difficult, yeah. But if it's like anything like God of War,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, even God of War is not a difficult combat, dude.
That's what I'm trying to say. If it's anything like that, it's not gonna be. But if you have to parry frame perfect, like down to the millisecond, then
we need to actually like I don't know if it's only is the demo only PS right now, or you can play it.
So.
Oh yeah, okay. I need to check if there is on Steam as well because I need to actually download and I will give you my feedback about it because the videos that I saw we saw someone playing on very easy, or the game is like that. Because I saw literally someone like pressing a triangle, and people that were like, yeah, but he's not using this mechanic, the other mechanic. He doesn't use parry, and the people below they were like, why he need to use another like 6 key binds if you can beat anyone with a triangle? You know what I mean? It's just like,
I mean, yeah, that's fair, yeah. But again, it does show that the game is about the story, narrative. So maybe it's not that much of a gameplay game,
Probably. I think if they will go with the normal with the traditional Onimusha series, the combat is everything on the previous games. Obviously, but the story is good as well. But in Onimusha, the combat is one of the main aspects. Okay. The world looks interesting though. And the characters, as you said, it looks really interesting. And nice animations, as always.
Sure. Another big title that we are going to see in the near future is Silent Hill Townfall. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
What else can I say? Well, bro, we are again in a town with a fog. So, yeah, that looks like a Silent Hill for me.
Yeah. I mean, we get another Silent Hill game. I don't think we really needed one.
Yeah, there was one last year, right?
Yeah, we had the last remake and we had the new installment was Silent Hill F. Right?
F, yeah. I don't know.
I feel like it's unneeded in this point in time, but who am I to judge? Yeah. Also, it's Unreal Engine 5 or 6. Who knows?
Oh my god, dude.
The game. If you've watched the trailer, it screams Unreal Engine. You can just see that.
Yeah.
The character models look amazing. They're great, but the movement animations look so weird, bro.
Yeah.
They are unnatural.
Yeah. I totally agree.
And
with
it's a horror game. Like
yeah, it's a survival horror. Yeah.
you don't even have that much movement. Can you perfect it? Like really, bro?
Yeah. One thing that really surprised me is that this first person, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be the first person Silent Hill ever. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong
Probably.
here.
There was this what was it? There was a game they released, like a very short one. They released it for free. You remember that?
PT.
No, bro.
even PT it was the demo. It was first person as well.
Yeah, but not that one. It was last year or the year before. What was it called?
I don't remember, dude. Really.
It was Silent Hill: The Last Message. That game was first person also.
Okay. I haven't.
It's
even
a
heard
bad
about
omen. I don't wanna say that it was.
I haven't even heard about it, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's as you should. It's a good. I envy you a lot. You know, I'm not saying as it's not a good example. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, if we take like the first person aspect from that game, it's a very big bad omen.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Okay, dude. Okay, I see your point now.
So another game that we have very little to talk about, honestly, is Ace Combat 8.
Yeah, Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thieve, I think, right?
Wings of Thieve from Bandai Namco.
Another title from a legendary series, though. Another title. You know what I mean?
Okay, but it looks cool. But it's a jet fighter game. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Looks like a
cool.
good flying combat game, and as it always was.
Yeah,
that's it.
It looks cool at least. I hope it's a good game. Really, it's not my thing.
It's not our thing. Yeah. So
yeah, it's not my thing, but I hope it's a good game.
Fingers
Why not?
crossed,
Hope
the fans gonna love it.
Yeah, hope it does well. That's what I'm trying to say. Another game which, at first, I was like, "Oh, hold up. Are we going quick and angry? Are we going fast and furious? What is this?"
Yeah, I thought the same
Stuntman
thing.
Hollywood.
I thought the same thing. I was like, what am I watching right now? You know what I mean? And then after I saw like more moments, more different scenes from popular like movies, Hollywood movies, I was like, what is this game, dude? And then in the end it was just like Stuntman Hollywood, and I was like, this game, it would have been amazing if we didn't have only the racing, you know what I mean? And if we would have like other like crazy stunts that they did.
Yeah,
on the popular movies.
The trailer opened with the Supra from Fast and Furious 1.
Yeah.
No, 2.
1. The Supra was from 1, yeah.
Anyway, it opened up like that with the train. With the train, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
It looks cool. It looks fun. It would be fun.
Then we saw, there was the other armor cars on the bridge. I think that was Fast and Furious as well, but it was like in the later movies, like 4 or 5. I'm not sure. Then we had Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah. We got Back to the Future.
Looks like every card that has ever appeared in Hollywood is in this game.
Yeah, dude.
Every car, like the
Crazy.
most iconic cars. I'm surprised we didn't get the Batmobile, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it should have been there. Maybe the Batmobile is copyrighted, but.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. I think it's time to move on, right?
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's. I don't like that. Okay, it's fine. It's a nice, funny game. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah. Let's move on because we have a huge game.
Huge game. Yeah, that game made a ruckus.
Made I was stunned because I was watching it live. I was like, "What am I watching right now?" I lost my mind, bro. I was like, "What the fuck?"
we're talking about Ill from Team Cloud. My thoughts: the game looks amazing. It's very realistic also, which is unsettling.
Yeah.
It's very gory galore, I would say.
Another survival horror, right?
Yeah, another survival horror game. Yeah, the theme is very dark, which is what you want, of course, from
This kind of setting.
horror game. I'm not much of a horror gamer myself, but if I would play any horror game, it would be this one. Just say.
Yeah, it looks nice actually. Yeah. Insane realistic graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Visually impressive, in my opinion. Like, it's one of those games that you're actually, if Mantis actually helped Team Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
because at this point this shows that it's only publisher. But if they actually help, I will not be surprised, because Mantis is the studio behind Atomic Heart, I think, and that game was really look really amazing. Dude, it gave me, I don't understand. I'm not quite sure if this game it's about like a disease that spreads around, because I don't know if you make this reference in your mind, but I think I have a huge vibe from I Am a Legend, the movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, kind of like the character models, the enemies, they just look like that a little bit. I'm not saying that it's one-to-one copy. Let's be honest. But yeah, it looks like that, you know what I mean? The combat, I like the combat though, as well. It looks grounded but realistic.
There was, the guy stabs at some point someone, and like tentacles like grow from under the head because it decapitated him. So I think it's not a kind of like an illness or, the game dictates illness because it's called ill, but it seems like it would be something like a parasite or something.
Probably, yeah.
Or something parasitic, something like something that's an organism living with humans, but I'm not sure. We're just gonna have to wait the developers to drop the lore on us,
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, let's move on. I will let you do the talking, dude, because I know that you love the series and you love Remedy. So, Control Resonant.
Let me speak to you, George. Let me preach, brother. Okay? There is not one person more invested into Remedy's connected universe. Okay? I cannot wait for this game.
I'm not surprised, dude.
We saw Jessie. We saw her brother Dylan, which is 100% going to be the main character in this game.
Yeah, previous gameplay trailers already state.
Yeah. Of course, yes. 100%, no doubt. I have played Control. I have played every Alan Wake game.
2.
No, they're not 2.
How many they are?
They are at least 3.
3 Alan Wake games. Okay.
Yes, there is American Nightmares, which is it's a spin-off game. It's not exactly in this main series, but it's a spin-off.
Okay.
And of course, Alan Wake is a main character. But I have played every game. I have played every DLC. In Control too. The universe Remedy has built is dark and has huge depth, and I love narrative. I love lore. I just can't wait. And to top it off, the game looks amazingly good.
Bro, I'm blown away with the insane world building and the art direction. My head, like the way that the world rotates and you walking like that, and then the world rotates in front of you. It's like crazy, dude. I was like, what?
You have no idea. You have no idea. In Control, it was great as well. It was fantastic.
I play a little bit Control.
Yeah, the gameplay looks great, of course, following that of the first Control game, of course. Sam Lake, I admire this man.
Yeah.
It seems to me that Sam Lake is like on top of his game. He's at his peak these years, and I'm just happy and excited to be here and experience it all. He's just a genius, and not many are at his level.
They just
and
need to
Remedy's
speak
level.
but they just need to speak with Rockstar to make a new Max Payne, dude. Come on.
I mean, yeah.
It's already. I know some news. I heard some news that they were saying that there is a new remake coming for. I'm not quite sure which one. The Max Payne 1 or 2, something like that.
I think it was 2.
But yeah, I think we need a new Max Payne. Let's be honest.
We need a new Max Payne, but I'm not having it if Sam Lake is not only directing but starring.
Yeah.
If he's not starring, I'm not having it. Let me tell you.
I mean, Max Payne 3, he didn't star. He wasn't starring, you know.
Yeah,
but
and,
he was
and
good.
it was the only bad game in the series.
It wasn't that bad, but yeah.
I mean, okay, it was 6 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, it was a decent game. Obviously, nothing, nowhere near Max Payne 2. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a decent game. Okay, you got me there, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay, well, that's a game. But the good thing that Max Payne did, because it was produced by Rockstar, I remember that. It was the first game in Rockstar's history where they had the slow-mo shooting mechanic.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to very briefly talk about Rockstar is that they create games before the GTAs, sort of like to beta test their mechanics.
Yeah.
Because that mechanic with the slow-mo from Max Payne, we got it in GTA 5. Also, in the rotating wheel from your inventory, your guns or whatever.
Yeah, it's from there.
That was in Max Payne 3. So I'm guessing that's what they're doing. They just make mechanics, use it in other games. They do well, and they put them in the GTA.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Very, very briefly, do you want to say anything about Marathon and RuneScape?
Whatever, man. We already spoke about Marathon and Banshee in the last episode. Make sure to catch up with this one, guys. Make sure to catch up with this one. That was hot news. You have to watch it.
Yeah, it was really hot news. But, okay. Season 2 comes out, Marathon. Well,
yeah.
Wah.
Whatever. Yeah. The numbers are not good either. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, the PS Classics dropped. Okay, great. We are going to have, the old games make a comeback in the PS Classics catalog. That's great. Next topic, Until Dawn 2.
Another exclusive title from PlayStation. I have a feeling that it was less darker than the first one.
Sure.
The setting was a little bit less darker, you know what I mean? It looks really interesting, of course, heavy on player choices. Because it says in the end, with a huge label.
Just like the first one.
Everyone dies or everyone survives, another one, like how it was the first game as well. Actually looks decent. It looks a good game, and I think we're gonna have a nice experience again. Neil Newborn is starring as well. Astarion.
The Until Dawn was a very beloved PS4 horror game, so we finally have a sequel to it. Of course, the game looks great. As I said, I'm not much of a horror game type of guy, but it looks great, and I hope it's not bad slop. Yeah. Because most horror games and movies, for that matter, are slop.
And we had a little sex scene on the trailer.
Ooh, hot women and dinosaurs. Never forget.
Yeah.
Okay. And for the main topic of this video.
Okay, yeah, the big hit. The big hit,
okay? Can we talk about the new God of War game?
The rumors were circulating around for months now that we would be going for a new spin-off. And there were many people that were saying that, we're going with Faye. Kratos' wife.
Mm-hmm.
So a new spin-off title in God of War universe. The main protagonist is Kratos' wife, Faye.
The game is called Laufey as well.
Yeah,
You need
Laufey.
to-
Yeah, God of War Laufey. Yeah, played by Deborah Ann Wall, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
That's your name. You know, legendary D&D DM, legendary D&D DM.
Yes.
So after Faye after death, she woke up in a very unfriendly world. I won't gonna say though that it feels like every god dies and he goes into this realm, because if I'm not mistaken, Faye is not a god. I think it's not a goddess, she's a giant. She's a Jotun, right?
Yeah.
So she went there. We don't know why. Combat looks like the same as God of War, so it's good, because combat is good in God of Wars anyway. But with the addition of like aerial attacks, a little bit faster than Kratos, yeah. The world looks really beautiful. The world, it seems to be ruled by Sekhmet, the Egyptian goddess of war.
Mhm.
I will make you some links right now.
Yeah.
And Bekce, the Tibetan god of war. Most people, they think that Kratos is the god of war. I will remind some people that Kratos became god of war when he killed god of war, Ares.
And he's also the Greek god in the Greek pantheon.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I remember in the first one, the first God of War, he finds like there are these wooden like whiteboards, let's say, something like that open. They have two doors and they open like that.
Yeah.
And in one of those, we had the Omega symbol, which is God of War's Kratos' symbol.
Yeah.
In another, and it was in the corner, but there were 4 corners.
Yeah.
And another corner was Tyr,
Yeah, yeah.
the God of War in the Norwegian
Norwegian, yeah.
pantheon. But the other 2 corners, we still don't know about anything about that, but we might find out.
But the thing is, all I'm trying to say is, like, I tried to link this, because people that were saying, even though I find it off-putting, the title, it should have been either Goddess of War or like a new different title. That I didn't like that it was God of War. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Laufey. The reason that I'm saying that is I try like to link this because Kratos, he wasn't a God of War. He became God of War when he slay the God of War, Ares, in God of War 1, right? The first game in early 2000s. So she might become a Goddess of War if she killed these gods. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not so off-putting, but I didn't like it either. Like, it was one of these weaknesses that this game had. Like, when I saw the title, I was like, why? You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, she's probably going to kill these guys.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what else? But, I kind of want to disagree, but I have to agree the game should have just been Laufey, right?
Yeah.
We would have, the game wouldn't be any less successful.
Yeah.
Because before a game, you get the gameplay trailers, you get the the cinematic trailers. We would know that this is in the God of War universe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Santa Monica is a very huge studio.
Yeah.
It doesn't need these tricks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. And we see Kratos in the game. So I think it's very unnecessary that God of War is, the God of War title is
in it.
In the game's title. I don't think it's needed at all. I very much like the game. It seems very interesting. We finally get to see Faye, how she was like as a character, and you know, we get to see her in general.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to see her, like we got her a little bit in Ragnarok, but it's finally we have a game that we are going to, you know, experience her character.
Yeah, because it's really
That's
interesting.
good.
That's true.
That's good, but
I mean,
you know,
during the trailer, though, I need your opinion about it, right? During the
I know
trailer,
where this is going.
she came across of what it seems to be her two companions, right? And that they will follow her adventures.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Rue. I think I pronounced it right, Rue, which is basically the enchanted ribbon sword guardian. You know, ribbon.
Yep.
And the other one, I think is Frank, and it's not like with the traditional spelling, FR.
Of course,
it's
of
something
course.
different. Frank, which is a cosmic cube. By the way, played by Jack Wade. You know, the guy that plays The Boys, I think, something like that. He's an actor from The Boys. I'm not quite sure, but
Anyway.
he seems that he's a very like popular guy. Anyway. To be honest, I have mixed feelings about that with the companions. I think I felt that it's kind of like immersion breaking, that you actually speaking, you know, that you're actually with your companions will be things,
A ribbon.
basically a ribbon and a cube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might have amazing lore behind them. Don't get me wrong, but as a first look on the trailer, I find it a little bit, you know, immersion breaking.
You know, listen, they could have done way better with the companions.
That's what I'm saying.
It could have been the most generic, you know, the most cliche development in the game, that when she stumbles upon this new world after death, you know, after the Kratos and Atreus burns the body and her ashes are, you know, dispelled into the air or whatever, as we saw in the cinematic. After that, you could have, you know, stumbled across other people, actual people, with which, you know, you would band together and you would try to escape whatever was going on over there. It could have been the most cliche thing ever. And nobody would, you know, peep about this. But
Totally
now
agree.
you get a ribbon and a cube. You get the naked companion cube from Portal
Yeah. I don't know.
as a.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know, I mean,
Listen. It looks like that. It looks like a game that I definitely play. It's 100% for me. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But I cannot ignore. I cannot ignore the fact that the companions look weird and the dialogue is kind of Marvel level. I don't know if you felt that, but the dialogue is a little bit, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, that's the curse that, you know, we had in Ragnarok too. You know, Kratos would speak to Mimir. Just, by the way, Mimir, if you're not, you know, smart enough, I would say Mimir is basically filler. You know, if there is, I get that he's like important
On the
as a character.
first game, he was really important though, because he was trying to explain to you the Norse mythology, the North settings, you know, with all these realms and
course.
how they work. On the first game, he was really good. On the second game, I see what you mean though.
He was the same thing in the first game. What I'm trying to say is that Mimir, he might have, you know, he was saying important things about the world, and he was informing the player about things, you know,
Yeah.
to create narrative. But he was there to fill the silent void.
Most of the times, yeah, he felt like that.
He was filler. He is filler. And because we are following the same recipe, we have the one-shot aspect of the game, like the whole game is a one-shot, like the last two games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have silent voids, and you need to fill them, and that's the way of filling the void. A cube and a sword ribbon.
I don't know, dude. I would rather have like 300 times Mimir, you know? He had a lot.
I mean, yeah.
I would love to have this scouser little thing behind my ear, try like to have a banter with me all the time, you know what I mean? And make jokes and shit.
You accidentally sit on him. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the game, apart from like the companions, like the game looks amazing.
Yeah.
Really. There are a lot of memes we have seen.
Yeah, that's like too much, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, they're memes. There are people are memeing about anything. Like that's in the aspect of the world. This is nothing. Really.
Do you know what? I will tell you something, right? If this video in the end, or like if we make a short and we will say about our concerns about this game, you will have a lot of defenders from the game like rioting against us right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to say right now. It's like people that they attacking the game, they're obnoxious. People that they defending the game over defending the game, they're obnoxious as well. And the problem is that if you stand in the middle and say that I like the game, it seems that it's going to be 8.10, 8.10, yeah. No, 8.5 out of 10, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually mention one wrong thing about the game, people they will be like, "Oh, you're a grifter." Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah, it's.
So
what can you say about
I shouldn't
these people,
have critical thinking, dude.
Yeah. So that should be just like you. Should we just build an echo chamber around here?
And if we actually like, praise the game, let's say like 8 out of 10 things that are very good, people that were like, "Oh my god, you're Sony Seal." Are you kidding me, dude? Like, you can't win with these people, dude. Really?
No, you can't. There are not like camps in the world. We're not just black and white. You can have different opinions. It's okay. It's okay. You shouldn't believe or speak about what your favorite YouTuber or creator or your friends are talking about. You can have your own opinions. How crazy is that?
I mean, people, they rage baiting, dude. They rage baiting. Like, and I'm baffled that after 5 years that this thing keeps happening, you know what I mean, in social media. So, exposed. They expose that they're doing it. Like, so it's so clear now that they're doing it. And after 5 years, we still fall on their traps. You know what I mean? Like, and you have people that they actually have followers on X or like on social media that they keep doing it. And people, they're going down and on the replies and they're saying, "Oh, you're a doofus," or "You're whatever, you're a dumb fuck." You know what I mean? It's just, dude, that's the point. He's trying to farm you, dude. Just mute him, you know what I mean?
Especially on X, that's like a recurring theme. A lot of people don't get it. They take the bait every time. Every time. You know what's funny? If you find one of these people, because they are terminally online as well, okay?
Online, yeah.
If you find one of these like replies on X, you can go to their profile and go to their replies as well.
Yeah.
And you can have a hysterical laugh on their replies. Man, do you not have anything else to do in this life?
Dude, yeah. There's some people that they make like the crazy amount of posts. Like, how? Like, these people are not working, dude. Like, there is no way you're making 10,000 posts.
I've seen a guy with 100,000 posts.
That's mad, bro. Come on.
Are you on X all day? Don't you have to go for groceries?
Might have a bot like making posts every 3 seconds.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, dude. Just to become active or something. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyway, we're just rambling now. It's all right. So, thank you so very much for watching another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. Hopefully, we are going to make another episode next week. Game Fest is going Hard.
2, do not forget, dude. 2, we have a summer game fest.
I
Not
don't want to
next.
edit.
I don't know about like next week. Next week we might have one, right? And then another week, the week after actually, we'll have another one for Xbox Game Pass. So guys, please, I want you to be aware that you might have the Xbox Showcase video 2 weeks after the show, right? Please,
Please. I'm gonna edit my ass off this week. Okay. I am going to try to make it like very, very soon. So, you get the news as fast as possible. You get to hear our conversation over here. That's why we want to build this community. We want you to be here to hear it first from us. So, see you next week. I hope you enjoyed our episode today. Leave a like, and as always, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so very much for watching. See you next time.
See you guys. Peace.